Guys, the S&P 500 has now come into the condition wherein it is expected to enter into the 6,800 range, but at the same time, it is expected to retest the 6,600 range before it can enter into the 6,800. Why? Because of the saturation. In the previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, I mentioned the saturation. Okay, the continuous bullish movement in the previous week, and in the absence of the economic data, especially the non-farm payroll and the unemployment data, because of the government shutdown. Okay, this data was not released on Friday, and because of back-to-back bullish candles in the previous week, the S&P 500 has hit the saturation in a manner that any more continuous bullish movement will be limited, will be restricted, will add more weight to the S&P 500 and will force the S&P 500 to come down. Now, because of the condition that was seen yesterday on Friday, what condition? The closing was at 6715.79. And in my final update yesterday on Friday, I mentioned that if the S&P 500 closes in between the 6722.14 and 6715.36, then it will be seen as a very heavy bearish condition, because in this case the S&P 500 will come out of the open equal to low condition. So now we will be expecting a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. But the question is that why and how the S&P 500 reached to this point. So for that we need to understand that the S&P 500 has gained the 6,700 mark on Wednesday. This was Wednesday. S&P 500 breached the 6,700 and the previous all-time high, and also closed above the 6,700 on Wednesday on 1st of October. And it has happened because on Tuesday as well as on Monday, on both of these 2 days, the S&P 500 sustained at my strong support level, that was 664x. And all of this started to happen from September 30th, when in my first update around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on September 30th, I mentioned that there are very good chances that the S&P 500 can trade within the 666x and 664x range. These are my two heavy support and resistance levels. As long as it is holding and sustaining above 666x, it will be in a condition to test the previous all-time high. Once it breaches the previous all-time high, more bullish sentiments or new bullish sentiments or renewed bullish sentiments will be there, that will trigger more or heavy bullish movement in the S&P 500 in the 6,700 range. Therefore, in my final update on 1st of October, I mentioned that closing of the S&P 500 on that day above the 6699.52, that was the open, okay, or the 6,700, means the S&P 500 has come into a heavy bullish condition wherein it is allowed to trade and sustain into the 6,700 range, and any fall will now be limited or restricted. But next day it was very much clear that it's not about any bullish movement or bearish movement, it's about sustaining, holding and closing above 6,700 to build the base. Therefore, in my pre-market analysis on Thursday, I mentioned that it is all about sustaining and holding above 6,700 and not about going bullish or bearish. For the entire day, this will happen. Okay, this is what we knew before the open of the stock market on Thursday. This means that even though we are anticipating a gap down open, still the S&P 500 will remain in a condition to recover intraday or in the next day. Will remain in a condition to recover, and if a certain condition is fulfilled, then it will move up. It will go further bullish, even though it is saturated, it is overbought, but still it can go bullish if that particular condition is fulfilled. So all of that I am going to discuss in detail in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, which is for the week of October 6th, means from October 6th, which is Monday, through October 10th, that will be Friday. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you are looking for these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in two parts. The first part, I will discuss the technicals on the weekly as well as on the daily chart, the technical indicators, the technical conditions. I will show you that why I am saying it is overbought, why I am saying it is saturated. Okay, all of the technical conditions and also the candles. I will discuss the candles. Okay. The second part is the probable movement. Probable movement means I will tell you that what is going to happen in the next week. Okay, what will be the bullish movement, what will be the bearish movement, what will trigger the bullish movement, what will trigger the bearish movement, under what condition it can still sustain in the bull side even though it is saturated. All of that in detail in this, the second part. So now first I am going to begin with the first part, that is the weekly and the daily chart, the technical analysis. So now guys, this is the weekly chart. Okay, so first I will discuss the weekly chart, then I will discuss the daily chart. Okay, now weekly chart, as you can see, okay, so weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. Now on this, the weekly chart, this is the last weekly candle. Okay, it's a normal or just good bullish candle, that's it. It is not a heavy bullish candle through which we can say that there will be a gap up open, okay, or heavy bullish movement. No, this candle, because the closing of the candle is above the high of the previous candle or above the high of the all of these the candles, this means that on Monday there will be an initial or intraday bullish movement, but a gap up open cannot be confirmed. Okay, clear? Now this is the last weekly candle of the Dow Jones. Again the same condition, it is a normal or a good bullish candle and the closing of the candle is above the high of this candle or all other previous candles. Okay, so this again indicates that on Monday there will be an initial or intraday bullish movement, but a gap up open cannot be confirmed. So now it is clear that on Monday there will be an initial or intraday bullish movement, okay, irrespective of anything, but a gap up open cannot be confirmed, right? Now in terms of the technicals, what we know is that the S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud and moving averages and Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart, as well as the S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD and the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. So in this manner, the S&P 500 is absolute bullish or 100% bullish on the weekly chart, but at the same time it has entered into the overbought condition and is very near to the saturation, means any more bullish movement or any movement above 6715.1.79, okay, will push the S&P 500 into the saturation and into the heavy divergence on the weekly chart. Okay, and because it is already overbought, okay, then all of these conditions will trigger the bearish side movement or will put the bearish side pressure on the S&P 500. Okay, now in terms of the Dow Jones, this is a chart of the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is also bullish through the Ichimoku cloud, the Bollinger Bands, the moving averages on the weekly chart. It is also bullish through the MACD and the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. Okay, and also the same condition that the Dow Jones is, once again, Dow Jones is 100% absolute bullish on the weekly chart, just like the S&P 500, and also it is in the overbought condition, and any more bullish movement above 46,758.29 will add or will push the Dow Jones into the saturation and in the heavy divergence condition. So all of this will happen at the same time in the S&P 500 as well as in the Dow Jones. This means that any more bullish movement in the Dow Jones, in the S&P 500, will make the market unstable. This means that as of now, more bullish movement will create problem to the market. But if there comes a fall, okay, and if the next candle, if this is the next candle, weekly candle, okay, that will complete on Friday, October 10th, if it remains red of any kind, okay, then it will cool down the technicals, will create more room in the bull side towards 6,800. So weekly chart is clear, okay, initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday, but saturation is there, okay. means it will hit the saturation, and overbought condition is already there. Now this is the daily chart. Okay, let's see if the daily chart is supporting the weekly chart. But guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the SP 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now on the daily chart, okay, again the same. The S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages, through the Bollinger Bands, through the Chimoku cloud on the daily chart. And the S&P 500 is bullish through the, yes, it has achieved the bullishness, and it has come out of the bearishness on the through the MACD. So S&P 500 is, so now the S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD as well as on the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. And the S&P 500 has just hit the saturation. Okay, this means any more bullish addition in the S&P 500, especially on Monday, because this is the daily chart. Okay, so especially on Monday, any more bullish addition in the S&P 500 will trigger more saturation and will make it overbought, as well as there will be heavy divergence. This means that there will be problem to the S&P 500 if this condition is seen. Okay, means any more bullish movement. This means that it is favorable if the S&P 500 first comes down on Monday. It gives a red candle, then that will create some room in the bull side. Yes, candle. I forgot to discuss the candle, so let's discuss the candle. Candle, as I mentioned, okay, on Friday 3rd of October, the most important part of the candle was the open equal to low condition. Okay, open price was 6722.14 or 15, and because the S&P 500 closed in between 6722.14 and 6715.36, okay, means it has come out of the open equal to low condition that was keeping it heavily bullish. That is why we are expecting, okay, a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. So this is through the candle of the S&P 500. But once again, we must not forget that even though the condition is bearish, but the closing was still above 6,700 psychological mark. Okay, because of this closing, S&P 500 has reasons to not to give up heavily, but to sustain. Okay, now Dow Jones. So first the candle of the Dow Jones. Well, candle of the Dow Jones, okay, it has closed below the 50% mark of itself. Okay, high, then below the 50% mark. Okay, but the most important part is that the closing was 46,758.29. that was above 46,714. okay, that was which was the all-time high of the S&P 500 earlier. Okay, so in this manner we are expecting an initial or intraday bullish movement in the Dow Jones on Monday, but not a gap up. Okay, not a gap down. This is exactly opposite to what we are expecting in the S&P 500. Now one more thing. Okay, on the weekly chart, what I mentioned is that the weekly chart is allowing or is supporting an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. This means that overall the bullishness is there. Bearishness is there only because of that open equal to low condition of the S&P 500. Otherwise, bullishness is there. This means that even if there comes a gap down open, even if the S&P 500 comes down after the gap down, then also it will recover. Means irrespective of any open, the market will remain in a condition to recover. Okay, and if there comes a gap up open somehow, then definitely, okay, it will come down, okay, to fulfill its the technical obligation, and then only it can sustain. Okay, but the most important part is the 6,700. Well, that I will discuss in detail in the next point, that is the probable movement. Okay, so Dow Jones, the technicals of the Dow Jones. Okay, again the Dow Jones is bullish through the Bollinger Bands, through the moving averages, through the Chimoku cloud on the daily chart, and the Dow Jones is also bullish through the MACD. Well, it turned bullish through the MACD on Friday itself. Okay, before that it was trading bearish. So Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD as well as stochastic RSI on the daily chart. So Dow Jones is also 100% absolute bullish. S&P 500 is also 100% absolute bullish. Okay, so now what we can see is that the entire US stock market is 100% absolute bullish on the daily as well as on the weekly chart. Means so far there is no change in the trend. The trend is absolute bullish. The only problem is that the market is hitting the saturation. So Dow Jones has already hit the saturation. Okay, any more bullish movement will make it more saturated. Okay, then we can expect some good fall. When I say some good fall, this does not mean that there will be a long-term reversal also. As of now, whatever reversal we are expecting, we are anticipating, it will be a short-term reversal for 2 to 3 days, 1 to 2 days, that's it. Okay, and in case of the S&P 500, it is expected to be just 1 day. Okay, it will be more than 1 day only if a certain condition is fulfilled. Otherwise, it will be there only for 1 day. Okay, and now the S&P 500 is ready for its journey towards the 6,800. Okay, but for that again the same condition of 6,700 is applicable. But guys, whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, I will keep you posted. I will keep you updated through these daily precise updates which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday. So I give the pre-market analysis before the open of the stock market, 1 or 2 hours before the open of the stock market. I give the first update after 1 hour, then I give the midday update after 3 hours, then I give the final update 1 or 2 hours before the closing of the stock market. In this manner, my Patreon community members are very well aware of the movement of the market, precisely to the levels, to the zones, fall, rise, intraday movement, volatility, everything. They are very well aware of this, the movement or the swings every day from Monday through Friday. And that's not all, because I also give the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks and the ETFs, minimum 5 to 10 every week to my Patreon community members. And these are the premium stocks of the top 20 or top 30 companies of the US stock market, the premium stocks of the S&P 500, Dow Jones and Nasdaq. And that's not all, because I also give the S&P 500 midweek update every Wednesday or Thursday, and this is a video technical analysis, and here I discuss all of the conditions, bullish, bearish, with the exact levels, exact numbers, the movement, like bullish, then bearish, bearish, bullish, all of the swings I discuss in detail in this, the midweek update. So guys, if you are also looking for these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday, as well as the opportunities in the premium stocks of the US stock market and also the midweek update, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page, this is my Patreon profile, and here you will find this tab or this button which says membership options. And when you click on this tab or button that says membership options, then you will see that there are these 3 levels: level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 and level 2 are same, the only difference is the geographical location. And when you subscribe either to level 1 or level 2, then you will be getting all midweek update videos every Wednesday or Thursday, and the daily S&P 500 precise updates, analysis, movement, and the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks. And when you subscribe to this, the level 3, this level 3 is the premium level, then you will be getting the same whatever you are going to get here. Okay, other than that, there will be a Zoom video meeting, okay, for 2 hours, just one-on-one, just me and you in that the Zoom meeting. Through that the Zoom meeting, I will tell you the entry exit secrets, the premium hack with very high accuracy, the trading strategy with very high accuracy, the modified technical indicators, and the options premium calculator to calculate the premium value, and much more. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday. Pre-market analysis, first update, second update, midday update, final update, as well as the opportunities in the premium stocks and the midweek update video technical analysis. So guys, if you also want to get all of these, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section to join my Patreon community. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community. Now guys, I'm going to discuss the second part of the agenda, and the second part is the probable movement. Probable movement means here I will tell you that what is going to happen in the S&P 500, Dow Jones in a manner to the entire US stock market in the next week. Means from October 6th, which is Monday, through October 10th, that will be Friday. So from Monday through Friday, whatever is expected to happen, okay, so that I'm going to share in this the point, in this the part, probable movement. Now you need to understand that as of now, okay, there is the government shutdown, okay, government, and because of that shutdown, the non-farm payroll data and the unemployment data was not released on Friday. That was the reason the market was able to sustain and to trade bullish. Okay, so when I say the government shutdown, so government shutdown means the non-essential services or works, okay, will be paused. There will be a pause. Okay, so when the government shutdown ends, okay, and we do not know that when it is going to end. It may end, okay, on Sunday, it may end on Monday or Tuesday, but whenever it ends, then that same day or the next day, this the data, the non-farm payroll data and the unemployment data will be released. This data will heavily influence the movement of the entire US stock market, remember, and this data has the potential to trigger the good reversal. Okay, this data, right? Other than that, on Wednesday afternoon, okay, around 2 p.m. Eastern time, the FOMC minutes of the meetings will be released. Okay, now this FOMC minutes of the meetings has nothing to do with the government shutdown because it is through the Feds. Okay, and Feds will release the FOMC, okay, the minutes of the meetings. So this means that even if there is the continuation of this, the government shutdown and the data is not released, then also the FOMC minutes of the meetings will be released on Wednesday, and then it will heavily influence the movement of the market, because through the minutes of the meetings we will get to know whether there will be more rate cuts or not, or what the Feds are expecting, okay, or thinking about the economic situation condition, okay, all of this. Now, so that is something that for which we need to wait, okay, but what we know so far is the numbers, okay, means we trust the numbers, okay, and my levels and my zones are heavily respected by the S&P 500, Dow Jones, okay, so we can trust the numbers and levels without thinking about, you know, these the data or these the conditions. So for now, what we know is that because the S&P 500 has come out of the open equal to low condition on Friday, okay, it has breached, it has come out, okay, there was a failure, rejection. Because of that, we are expecting a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday, right? So this case is clear, open equal to low condition, okay, gap down open or initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Okay, now what will happen, okay, when it comes down? So we need to understand that the S&P 500 closed at 6715 approx, okay, means it closed above the 6700. This was the third consecutive closing of the S&P 500 above the 6700. What does this mean? This means that S&P 500 has built, okay, its base, okay, its base in the 6700. So when I say the base, this is exactly what I mentioned in Thursday, in the pre-market analysis on Thursday, that it's not about going bearish or bullish, it's about sustaining, holding and giving a closing above 6700. So it has built up the base, 3 consecutive closings above 6700. This means that this is the gap down open, okay. If the gap down open is seen at any level, let's say 6700 itself, or 6705, or anything which is below 6715.79, okay, then also that condition will be fulfilled. But because the condition is heavy, that is why we are expecting a test or a retest of the 6700 mark, okay. 6697 is my calculated resistance level. Earlier we have seen the magic of that, the 6697, okay, it has failed, it has come down, and then only it moved up. So now from 6697 to 6700, 3 points, there is a good or heavy support zone of 3 points, okay. This means that when the S&P 500 comes down, okay, it will find heavy support here, 6697/6700, okay, here it will find good support. Now because of the conditions like 3 consecutive closings above 6700, Weekly chart is suggesting an initial or intraday bullish movement. Dow Jones is suggesting initial or intraday bullish movement. S&P 500 will remain in a condition to sustain at the 6,700 or this the zone. Okay, only under the condition of profit booking it can lose the zone. Okay, but we need to wait for at least for 2 consecutive hourly closings below the zone so that it can be confirmed that the S&P 500 is weak. Okay, and it is going to come down further, because when it loses this 3-point zone, then it will be coming down to what? It will be coming down to its natural support, okay, in the 666x, the natural support. This is there. Okay, it will be open to this. Before that there is one more support, okay, but that is not so strong. Okay, so it will be most likely it will be coming down to the 666x. Okay, then we have 664x, and as of now any short-term fall, any short-term reversal for 1 day, for intraday, for 2 days or so will be limited to these marks. That's it. Okay, that's it, not more than that. Okay, so this means that the 6697 and 6700 is very, very important for the next week, especially on Monday. So Monday it will be very much clear whether the S&P 500 and the market has more room in the bull side or not. Okay, because if the S&P 500 gives a closing, okay, what closing? The daily closing. If it gives the daily closing above, means the Monday closing is seen above this the zone or above 6,700, okay, in any condition, right, then it will, sorry, not in any condition, there will be one very heavy condition. Okay, if that one very heavy condition is seen, then definitely, okay, nothing can save the market. Nothing. Okay, not even data, not even manipulation, nothing will save the market. Very heavy fall will be there, 2 to 3% fall. Okay, but that condition will be seen only on the closing basis. Only on the closing basis, not intraday or anything. And on Monday in the final update, if such a condition is seen, then in the final update, so at least 2 hours before the closing, I will mention that condition, if that condition is seen. Because if that condition is seen, then we will be ready for a short-term reversal for 3 to 4 days. Okay, and around 3% fall we will be expecting, 2% to 3% fall we will be expecting in the S&P 500. But for that condition to happen, okay, that will be very rare condition. Okay, otherwise it's good. So on Monday, okay, it will be very much clear. But in general what we know is that if on Monday there comes a closing above the 6,700, if there comes a closing above 6,700 on Monday, then 4 consecutive closings, 4 successive closings above 6,700 means the S&P 500 has built its base in the 6,700. It is now ready for more bullish movement without giving the bearish side movement, or this the reversal. Okay, this means that if in the coming days, if there comes any fall, then what will happen, or what kind of fall will be there? That fall will be like it will be something like, you can see like this candle or this candle, means intraday there will be very heavy fall, okay, or some good fall, not heavy, some good fall, then a reversal or retrace, it will close in this manner, okay, or in this manner. This kind of candle will be seen, or this kind of candle will form, means the closing will remain above 6,700. That's what I'm trying to say. Even if there will be a heavy fall, it will come down, but intraday it will reverse and it will close above 6,700. As long as the closings are seen above 6,700, as long as there are successive continuous closings above 6,700, S&P 500 will remain in a bullish condition, heavy bullish condition, to try for the 6,800. Okay, this can happen as early as within the next week if all conditions are fulfilled. But again, moving to 6,700 without giving a red candle or 1 to 2 red candles means very risky movement, because as soon as it try to go bullish, it will hit the saturation. It hits the saturation, it will fall. Okay, continuous or successive bullish candles will trigger heavy fall. Okay, so at least 1 or 2 red candles are required so that we can see this is the heavy fall. Okay, sorry, we can see that there is now more room in the bull side. So if there comes this kind of candle, okay, then this will also suffice, and this will create more room in the bull side, and when it creates the room in the bull side, then this opens the 6,800, provided that the S&P 500 never closes below 6,700. Simple as that. It never closes below 6,700. Okay, because closings below 6,700 or below 6,697 means these are the bearish conditions. Okay, bearish conditions. And one of the strong bearish condition will be if on Monday there comes a very special closing, and that will be confirmed, okay, that I will mention in the final update on Monday. If that happens, then we will expect 2 to 3% fall, means 6,600 entire range, 6,500 range will be there. Okay, the fall will be back to the 6,500. It will come down to 6,500. Then only there will be the more bullish movement towards 6,700 or 6,800 or so. Okay, so what we know is that 6,697, 6,700. Okay, this is clear. The bull side is clear. Bearish side will be tricky and will be heavy, okay, in a manner. But guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get the daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire USA stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. First of all, Monday, if only and only if that one special condition is seen, only and only if, there will be heavy fall back to the 6,500, you can say. Okay, this is very much clear. By default, it will be there no matter what. Okay, if that condition is not seen, then we will wait for the closing below this range, closing at least one daily closing below this range, at least one. When there comes one daily closing below this range, this means that the 6,600 range is open. Range is open to what? Range is open to the 6,600 psychological mark. Okay, whether it will move to 6,600 or not, it will be decided by the 666x, thereafter 664x. That's it. These two will decide whether the S&P 500 will move to 6,600 or not. But because there will be only one closing below the zone, okay, so this can backfire. This may be a trap, okay, a bearish trap. So we need a second successive closing. If the second successive closing is also seen below this mark, okay, below the 6,697/6,700, in that case it will open the bearish side completely with confirmed bearish side. Bullish side will be limited to the same. The 6,697/6,000 will be, bullish side will be limited to this. Bearish side will be open. More bearish side will be defined by these two. Okay, and the 6,600 will be open. Okay. Now, if the S&P 500 gives these two consecutive closings on Monday and Tuesday, okay, below this, the 6,700 or 6,697, and on Wednesday the FOMC minutes of the meetings indicates bearishness, in that case S&P 500 will lose the 6,600 to 6,500 range. Now there comes the 6,500. Now if you understand, or if you see the low of this candle, okay, which candle? This candle formed on 25th of September. The low was 6,569.22, 6,569.22. Any fall will be limited to this mark. Okay, whether there comes a heavy fall, whether there comes a sequential fall, any kind of fall will be limited, will be restricted to this mark. That's it. Okay, because if the S&P 500 breaches this mark, just a breach, not closing, just a breach. Okay, if there comes a closing, perfect. But if there comes a breach, then this can trigger more fall, more 2 to 3% fall. Okay, so any fall for now will be limited to this mark. Okay, 6,569.22. Okay, but here in the 6,500 itself, Okay, there is a very heavy support, okay, in the 657x. Okay, before that 658x. So it creates a small zone, very heavy support. S&P 500 will come down, will find support here, very heavy support. This is the condition, this is the case I'm talking about when the S&P 500 loses the 6,600 mark, either intraday or on the daily basis closing. Okay, then this condition will be seen, this condition will be there. Okay, this is clear. Otherwise it will remain in the 6,600 range. The S&P 500 will trade in the 6,600 range after giving one closing or two closing below the 6,700 or 6,697. Okay, bullish movement will be restricted to this. Okay, bearish movement to this for this one. Okay, this means that in the next week the 6,697/6,700 is very important, very critical, very important. Okay, in a manner that continuous closings above the 6,700, okay, means market is sustaining, holding, and is building its base. Means the base is so strong, base is strong enough to handle any kind of fall and is open to the 6,800 range. 6,800 range is there, okay, or will be there in this case. Closing, at least one closing means it is going bearish, two closings means confirmed. Okay, Monday if there comes a very special closing, perfect, 2 to 3% fall without any doubt. Once again, any more bullish side, especially on Monday, okay, more bullish movement means saturation, overbought, okay, and heavy divergence means not sustainable. This means that continuous bullish movement is not allowed. Okay, like on Monday and Tuesday it cannot go bullish, it cannot sustain bullish, because that will then trigger heavy fall. Then we do not need any special conditions or so. That itself will trigger heavy fall because of the heavy saturation. Dow Jones is already in that condition. Okay, when S&P 500 comes into that condition, a perfect case for the fall. Okay, so in that manner it will fall and it will come down. So guys, hit like if you have liked this video in order to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask your question through the comment section.